During World War II, some rare vehicles were specially produced for specific purposes. One of these, the Fiat AS-42 Sahariana, looked like a vehicle from the Mad Max franchise. It was an Italian reconnaissance car which used the chassis of the AB-41 armored car, including its four-wheel steering, but with a 2x4 transmission specifically for desert operations. The engine was located in the rear. The open compartment's only overhead protection was a waterproof canvas sheet. Besides the driver's seat, the crew that served the onboard weapons were seated on four folding seats on the sides. Besides the driver, the Sahariana could carry up to 6 men, but the crew was generally less, 3 to 4 soldiers. The AS-42 had internal fuel tanks of 145 liters with an additional 20 jerrycans externally mounted on both sides between the wheels, plus 4 on the front fenders, holding a total of 80 liters of water and 400 liters of fuel. The full fuel tank and the additional canisters allowed a maximum range of 1,500 kilometers. The main weapon fitted was either a 20mm Breda Model 35 autocannon or a large 20mm S-18 anti-tank rifle. The Breda M35 was one of the main Italian anti-aircraft guns during World War II. An effective weapon against light tanks as well, the M35 was towed on a two-wheel trailer or transported on the bed of a truck. It first saw combat during the Spanish Civil War and was used until the end of the Second World War. It is interesting to note that in North Africa, several examples were captured by the British Army, and these guns were frequently used by the Long-Range Desert Group against the Axis forces. The prototype of the Sahariana was presented in July of 1942, and following the positive outcome of the evaluation tests, production of the first batch began in August the same year. From September to November of 1942, approximately 20 vehicles were delivered to the Italian army. The Saharianas were stationed in North Africa, Sicily, and around Rome. The vehicle's low profile allowed it to hide behind desert dunes and wait for the arrival of the enemy unseen. And its great capacity for autonomous action allowed it to chase enemy forces for very long periods. The AS-42 participated in the final stages of the Libyan campaign and the entire campaign in Tunisia. It was mainly assigned to the Auto-Saharan companies. They were Italian military units specialized in long-range patrols of the Sahara Desert. These companies were formed around expert soldiers customized to operate in the desert. The unit operated from the late 1930s until the Italian surrender in 1943. In concept, the Auto-Saharan companies were similar to the British Long-Range Desert Group, which was created basically as a copy of the Italian unit in 1940. The Italian company was supported by its own air arm to assist in long-range reconnaissance and ground attack missions. After the North African campaign, some vehicles were used in the defense of Sicily and southern Italy. Other vehicles fought on the Eastern Front as part of the German 2nd Fallschirmjäger Division. They were in service throughout 1944 and 1945 as reconnaissance vehicles on the Eastern Front and later in France. The second model, the SPA A.43 Metropolitana, entered service in Italy late 1943. It differed from the first model by the absence of the two upper side rows of jerrycans, replaced by two large caissons for ammunition, and the presence of a canvas top. An unknown quantity of these vehicles was produced for the Italian state police. These vehicles served until the middle of the 1950s. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and to make sure you don't miss my future work, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel and press the bell notification button. Thank you, and see you in the next video.